in a world. What's up, y'all? It's Kareem. It is Thursday, July 3rd, and this is the 6th episode of this currently untitled podcast. And I actually have a guest with me today.
What's going on, everybody? My name is LLBJ, and I'm happy to be in the building. LA, what's up?
Oh, I forgot to mention that. Yo, I am in Los Angeles right now. I have packed up my bag, hopped on a flight, and I am in Los Angeles right now. And yeah, it feels good. Pretty sunny out here. It's pretty nice weather. Why are you acting like you can't talk?
Oh, I thought you was doing it.
No.
Oh, okay.
You can.
Okay,
you can talk.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what was it? The LLBJ. You said some name because apparently that's your alias.
I mean, it just came to me because my name is Leno Lewis Bradley Jr. So I'm like, why not LLBJ? You know.
Now the thing about it is, this podcast, as you know, is like how to be successful, basically.
Right.
But a little bit more than that. I think it's about how to sort of break the mental barriers that we all face, like on our way to doing what we want to do.
Right. It's
Right?
definitely, many ways to get to success. So it's just about, finding your focus point and just, thinking what is going to get you to your next level. Because the more you try to sit down and plan out everything, it's just going to hold you back. And the right time is when you decide to get up and move.
Now, I asked you, I said, yo, what should I talk about today? And you basically said something about, you said like, what was the exact thing you
your
said?
Fears. It's about not putting limits on your creativity. It's about not letting your fears get in the way of your potential.
You said something that really stuck with me was like, yo, you're like, why are you setting up a New Year goal? Like, why are you, I'm
Right.
going to move out on the first of the year, 2015.
Right. I think sometimes we get so caught up in, New Year's Day that we tend to wait till January 1st to say, you know what, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get a new job. I'm going to leave this person. I'm going to go back to school. But New Year's Day is not any different from tomorrow or
Right.
yesterday or today.
Yeah.
There is no distinct difference between New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I mean, time is just a man-made constraint. Why wait when you could just do it today? Why put off tomorrow what you can do today?
There's somebody right now saying, I have to save money I need to wait until the perfect time though. You know what I'm saying?
There will never be a perfect time. You just have to go with the flow. Like, I'm not sure about everybody's spirituality out there, but I can say for myself, when you put God as the center of everything you do, money will come. Anything that you want will come. If you don't have the money right now, you're not going to have the money next week. It's time to start making decisions that's going to better yourself. Like, everyone has a time, where they may doubt themselves, but you can't doubt yourself. You have to leave that to the naysayers. People are going to already doubt you. Sometimes you just have to get up and go.
Damn. So I actually think that's pretty powerful, yo. Like, it's something that sounds like it's common sense, but it's like, there's already going to be the people waiting to tell you about yourself. Right. So there's already a bunch of critics waiting to give their opinion about what you're doing. And it's like, why would we beat ourselves up before anyone else, does it? Because it's like, they already get you. So just use all that energy. So you're saying, like, take all that energy and use it and be positive, or like, what are you saying?
You need to, I think Kanye West said it best. You need to use that steam to power your dreams. When you're connected with whose you are, then you know who you are.
I don't remember when Kanye said that, but
It was some song he said.
Yeah.
It might have been Ego. I think Ego, the remix. You have to listen to that track. Maybe we could play it once this podcast is over. But just, you have to pay attention to that, because I think we all try to set up and we try to have, plans for our life. And it kind of starts in school when, you go to school, you have to have an agenda. That's like on your supply list. Get an agenda. At 7 o'clock, I have to do this. 8 o'clock, I have to do that. But one thing I've learned about life isn't set up like that. Life will knock you down. And everything is not planned. Like, I think a lot of us feel that life is this straight road. You have beginning, then you have success. But you don't learn about the hurdles and the ditches and the the rivers you have to swim across. A lot of people get caught up in the fame. They see the result. They see, oh, Angela Bassett winning an Oscar. But they don't see the times where she didn't get any jobs. They don't see the low-budget plays she probably did or the low-budget commercials that she probably did in one city that never got aired nationally. You don't see all of the input. And I think that's wrong. That's one thing that's wrong with our generation. We really don't take the work ethic for what it is because we live in a generation that's popcorn.
But do you think, and that's one thing that I find like really to be intriguing is like, yo, do we have conversation about it, about the journey? Like, do we talk to people about the journey? Like, so for example, so like, growing up, people were telling you like, yeah, you could be an actor or you could be a creative or whatever, like you could be a designer, but they're not sharing with you those times, those nights where you just feel like none of your hard work is paying off. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, then at that moment, how do you deal? You don't just deal with somebody telling you keep going, keep pushing. How do you deal when like when you know you're working hard, when you know you're going hard, but nobody tells you sort of how to get over those dips? And I just wrote the article about how to get over that mental dip. Like, so I mean, what do you say to that?
Honestly, respectfully, I think I would have to disagree. I think there are people out there that's telling us this, but as a generation, we're lazy. Like you said, you mentioned when you went to Clark Atlanta, which is my alma mater, you mentioned that they had workshops, but people weren't going. They have seminars, but people are not going. They have interviews on TV, but people are not watching because it's not the Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's not the Love and Hip Hop. They have stories and books. If you read about Tyler Perry's struggle, he lays it out. T.D. Jakes, Devon Franklin, all these people had some type of struggle, and they let you know. Maya Angelou, how she went 6 years without speaking, and they told her that she was stupid or slow.
Maybe what it is that we want to remain naive. Because now that you brought that up, it reminds me. It's like, damn, maybe it's not that people don't know.
Right.
Like maybe it's not that someone went 25 years doing one thing and then quit that and then started a website or started a business or
right.
So maybe it's not like like we don't know about that, but maybe we are naive
exactly
to think that we may, because of their struggle, we may get it easier.
Right. It's like I said, we are a lazy generation. We don't want to think about the struggle. Like you mentioned, everyone can have the same opportunities. Like you went to the workshops,
right.
But it's just easier for me to jump on your bandwagon when you've made it and say, hook me up with a job. How did you get that? But it's like you wasn't willing to get up with me at 6 o'clock in the morning and say, come with me to the seminar. You rolled over in the bed and said, and you look at things like, that's not going to help me. Or we don't even know how to do internships anymore because we're looking for money. We don't want to put in the hard work. You don't want to be a PA. What does getting this coffee have to do? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that old serving work. But what I've learned as a PA, your job is just as important as the director. You getting that coffee for that actor or that actress or that director may be what they need to kickstart their performance. Like no job is too small. And I think when we start realizing that production is just one big machine, no matter what your career is, everyone has a part to play in it. Like you are no less important than the next person. Even the person who cuts the grass, you have to make the studio look good. Like because that's the first thing that people see when they come to your studio. It's part of your reputation. When you cut that grass, you're making Tyler Perry look good. You're making the executives of Warner Brothers look good. You're making Will Packer look good. Everything is for a reason. And I think we need to get out of that lazy generation where everything is wake up now, quick money. Let me flip that money. No, put some hard work in. Because one thing that we fail to realize, hard work comes with experience. And if you skip the hard work and you skip the experience, when you are able to get in those positions, you won't know how to deal with it. And you will crumble fast.
Yeah, I was watching. I was trying to find it, but I can't remember. It's a TED talk about that sort of is saying that today you have to focus on, like, if you want to be successful, you have to focus on mastery. It's sort of like the whole jack of all trades, master of none. It's an old concept, and it's an old concept that we need to be good at something. Like, we need to get good at something and figure out like how to become the best in the world at that. Right. But I think sometimes telling someone that they need to master something can be a lofty goal. Like, how do you tell me to master voiceover? Like, what is that? Does that mean doing that every day? Does that mean figuring out new ways to do it? What is that? Does that mean I have to focus in a way that becomes sort of like depressive, or like, how do you can't tell someone? I feel like you can't tell someone to be a master at something and make that and that be realistic in their mind, because I think what that forces people to do is to sort of get into these depressive states because they're looking for something that may be impossible at this particular time, right? So it's like you focus all your time on this one thing, and then like you're hoping, and then you're like ignoring everything else in your life. So you're like ignoring the happiness part, the peace part, the faith part, so it's like, where's the balance in that? So it's like you can't focus on just trying to master what it is that you do. You have to also have these other components in your life. You have to live. Right. You got to be happy. You got to be healthy. You got to eat good food. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's like there's another component on where I feel like a lot of people leave out of the creativity bubble, which is like, oh, you got to focus shit. Like Diddy's posting on Twitter every day, like or Instagram is like, I never sleep, blah, blah. Like, he's spreading that myth, but I guarantee you that cat is getting 8 hours of sleep.
Of course, probably more. I was reading Robert Greene's book on mastery. Mm-hmm. And one thing that you have to realize, mastery is a destination. Mastery is a journey. And you define your own journey. There's different levels of mastery. All mastery is perfecting your craft. Perfecting that thing that you was put on earth to do. And the reason I say mastery is a journey is because people usually don't find out their purpose until their 30s. Some people find it out at an early age. Mozart was a master of his craft. Albert Einstein was a master. Right. Maya Angelou was a master. Oprah is a master. Right. And it's a destination. Like, Oprah would tell you today that she still does not believe that she's the best at what she does. It's also about being humble, because when you're humble and you feel like you reached mastery level, then you stop learning because you feel like you know it all. You stop taking, different things from life. That's what life's lesson is all about. So when you see those life classes, those mastery classes on Oprah, the people that's speaking aren't necessarily saying that they are masters of it, but they're necessarily saying that they are on the path to it. They found out what they were called to do. Will Smith knows what he was called to do. And he's striving every day on his journey. Because the day that you become a master is when you die. Because you have nothing else to give.
Now, so you look at it as sort of an age thing, right? Like, so you basically, and I'll tell you, so when I graduated from Clark Atlanta, at 22, I really felt like I had a grasp on what it is that I wanted to do. And I did. But there were a lot of things that I didn't. There were a lot of those roadblocks and those trials and tribulations that I did not see. So that was 4 years ago. Now I'm 26. And the level of aggressiveness that I have again for my career and my happiness is crazy high. Right? And I remember, like, I always used to think, like, yo, when you get 28, like, that's like the age where, like, shit pops off. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when things really start to happen. You have a greater grasp. You have a different type of aggressiveness towards your career. And the closer I get to these ages that we always talk about, like 26, 28, 30, you know what I'm saying? Like, cats really start figuring out what they want to do. So you think it's like a age, like, because you mentioned, like, the Will Smiths and, but he was younger. But you mentioned some people, and you mentioned age,
Right.
and so you think that it's about age.
I wouldn't say it's about age. I will say this. I believe when you die, you should be able to tell the Lord, I've used everything that you've gave me to fulfill my purpose. Tupac is a master. Tupac was one of the best in the game. Tupac paved the way for so many rappers. Biggie paved the way for so many rappers. To me, they are masters. They may have died young, but they're masters. They're masters of the craft. I honestly don't. I feel like you have masters and you have living legends in the making. Will Smith, living legend in the making. Oprah, living legend in the making. Maya, to me, is now a master. She has crossed over into that final destination. Tupac Biggie has crossed over to that final destination. When you can die and you feel that you've done all you could with whatever your craft is, then I feel like you truly are a master.
So you're saying, if you're like, you're saying basically what we said at the beginning of this is like, don't wait until that age to say to yourself, that's when I'm gonna do that. Right. So instead, when you're 20, 21, 22, 23, whatever, however old you are aggressive, as aggressive as you can be at that moment.
Right.
Not saying, man, when I get 35, man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna love this. I'm gonna have a different passion, or I'm just gonna grow a different maturity.
Because time is not promised.
Yeah, exactly. So, do you think, for you personally, and what was your name originally? LLBJ.
Yeah.
So when you said, at that young age, you don't think that? Do you think that helps what you do? So like, does your age help what you do? Does it help push you forward, knowing that what you just said? Like, so you're not promised to make it to another age or another year, and so do you think people should use that sort of thinking when it comes to how they go towards these goals? I mean,
exactly. Like I said, why wait to January 1st, 2015 to do something when you could do it right now? Who is to say that you will be here January?
I have a friend of mine who every year, we're like really good friends. Every year she has a new goal, but she has never finished it.
Exactly. How many people do you know that make all of these New Year's resolutions? I'm going to eat right. I'm going to work out. I'm going to save my money. And then by the time February rolls around, all of that is out the window.
She told me, Kareem, I can't go out with you this summer because I got to save up. She told me that. She's been telling me that for about 5 years now. And this is not a joke. She just told me this the other day again. She's like, yo, it's crazy that you moved to Los Angeles. You know, you're not in New York anymore. You know, I was definitely hoping we could hang out this summer. Motherfucker, you ain't even hang out. You don't even know. You know what I'm saying? It's like people keep putting things off for the perfect moment. It's like there is no perfect moment. Even when I was 22, 23, it was like I was broke as hell, but every now and then I would go out and get a glass of wine. That $11 offers me a piece in some place. It will offer me an opportunity to just go and do something, to go and experience something. And it's like, I think a lot of people use money as an excuse to not participate in life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm using this is a small example, but it's like, oh, I have to save up this amount of money before I can go and do this, or I have to have this money so I can go to that kind of place or go to this kind of city or live in this place. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we put way too much promise in the future, and we look back and we're like, damn, what did I accomplish in the last 10 years? What did I really do? Like, you know, why am I keep telling myself lies about the things I want to do? You know what I'm saying?
Because it's easier to say next week, next month, tomorrow. But the only thing is tomorrow never comes because it's never a good time. I didn't get paid this week. It's not a good time. I was waiting for this It's not a good time. My car's in the shop. Not a good time. If your car didn't break down, would you have done it? Or would you have looked for another excuse to not to do it? That's how I look at things. The next time you want to go out and you say, damn, I ain't got it. Pretend you have a fake emergency. Pretend your car breaks down. And let's see how quick you bring that money out.
Damn, that's deep. Pretend you have a fake emergency.
That's what you got to do. Because it's easy to say, I don't have it. But when something happens, you're like, darn, I got to pay this $200. What if you would have did that and spent it on yourself, went to a nice resort? Because money comes and goes. Like tomorrow's not promised. So if you have to trick yourself and have a fake emergency just so you can go out, then that's what you need to do.
Before I left New York, me and my lady went to a really nice restaurant, and it was the most that we went to a fine dining restaurant. It was the most I ever spent on a meal at a restaurant, and we were the only two who looked like us in the restaurant, right? And I'm not rich, what society deems to be rich, right? I haven't netted $1 million yet.
Yeah.
But I decided that I wanted to do something that I wouldn't normally do, something that I wasn't comfortable with, something that could be up in the air. I mean, what if my lady orders a $75 glass of wine? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit. Can we get some seltzer water over? You know what I'm saying? Can we get some seltzer?
Water with lemon?
Excuse me, sir. Can I?
Some extra sugar.
And to make your own lemonade and shit at the restaurant. But these are the things that scare us. And this is very simple. This is just going to a restaurant, but it's like the possibility. But what's so scary about it? It's like I ate everything that I ever wanted to eat at that restaurant. I had dreams of like going there and getting that particular dish. And it's like, I had some duck and like, just whatever. And it's like, yo, when they swiped my card and it came back and I signed my bill and I gave the tip, and then I looked at my bank account and I was like, damn, that really didn't hurt. Because it was an experience that was worth spending on. And it's going to come back to me. Money's going to come back. It comes and it goes. What do you if you go to McDonald's 15 times a week, you're going to end up spending what you could have got at that restaurant. You know what I'm saying? And so I just think the way we look at money, I just think it's basically what you just said. It's basically like, yo, money does not need to be the wall that separates you from your goals and your dreams. Because at the end of the day, that money returns, that money comes back, and you may spend it on something else. It's not the end of the world. You won't die. When's the last time you had a heart attack because you spent money? When's the last time you had a heart attack?
Right.
For spending money. Nobody ever got killed for spending money. Well, the Jordan thing, but nobody ever got, you know what I'm saying? No, seriously, but nobody ever got killed spending money. I think the most profound thing that has been said is during this conversation is fake emergency. If you have to trick yourself, and let me know if I'm explaining this right, you have to fool yourself into thinking that this has to happen. And there's no other way around it. It's just like how we look at Kickstarter. Or you could look at it like anything. If you got something that you need to do, you may have to ask some people. You may have to do some things that you're not comfortable with. You may have to work extra harder. There are things you do when there's an emergency, and you pull out the damn arsenal, and all of a sudden you can make it happen. Well, something will work. We can make something work. Sheesh. That's all I really wanted to talk about today, man. You got anything else you got to say before we get out of here?
Thank y'all for supporting me. My book comes out March 2015. It's called Finding Your Own Mastery. Thank you.
Oh, it's coming out next year. Why you waiting?
It's still in the works. I'm writing, and it has to go through distribution. See, I'm not waiting to write it. It's in the works now, but you have to go through certain channels to get things picked up. But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
That's what's up. I'm glad that you joined me today. Shout out to you for tuning in. And yeah, you can follow me and at me or holler at me on Facebook or whatever. The name is Kareem Taylor, KareemTaylor. Wait, What's your Twitter, man? Can people follow you, or
Yeah,
I don't know how you
yeah,
feel, or Instagram?
yeah. Follow me at major_league4 on Instagram. Yeah.
You have a very inspiring social media presence, so I think people should definitely follow you. Yo, the name is Kareem Taylor, Kareem Taylor, Kareem Taylor.